Hello there. I am here to do another INFJ ramble. I guess the topic for today is I feel like this may not just pertain to INFJs, but just for me and from personal experience and observation, I think it is in the best interest for everyone involved to use caution when distributing information. And what do I mean by that? I feel like INFJs have a lot of revelations and epiphanies and visions and insights. But a lot of people who haven't done as much inner work probably won't understand what you're saying, especially if it's distributed prematurely. Yeah, I think people that maybe aren't as open-minded or have no desire to understand someone else's point of view may distort your information, may use it against you. And I think there's a scripture in the Bible about you shouldn't distribute pearls to the swine, and I guess that's what that means. I've come across a couple of instances, most recently, and it's really interesting how we really have to. How do I say? Use caution when expressing yourself. You know what I mean? Because people can't accept what you have to say. Again, based on their level of maturity and open-mindedness and willing to understand another person's point of view. I've noticed in most conversations, like, I think people are more interested in defending their point of view than they are trying to understand another person's point of view. And I've gotten this a lot, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, a lot of people that, not a lot, because I think I don't have too many friends, and I have a few acquaintances or colleagues. So the few interactions that I have, whenever we'd get into disagreements, I noticed that the opposing party would go into defense. And, they didn't like my point of view, and they couldn't accept it. And so they would retaliate, and, they would say stuff like, yeah, you always have an answer to everything, and you think you're always right. And that's not true at all. Like, I think I spend a lot of time in other people's shoes, because INFJs, or I think most of us, have empathic abilities. So we spend a lot of time like sifting through everyone else's emotions until we finally get through it and then go, oh wait, this isn't my stuff, that's your stuff. And now I can see what I'm really feeling underneath it all. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of hilarious that people think that we don't understand them and we don't see their point of view, because I think we spend a lot of our time sifting through other people's stuff before we even get to our own. So yeah, I don't think I know it all. In fact, I think I try to outlet my ideas and insights with someone else so that we can maybe have some type of exchange that will help me to either confirm my theories or, prove me wrong. And then I can be like, oh, like I never thought about it that way. And thanks for like showing me a new angle, but I'm not distributing information to make someone feel bad about themselves or, you know, I don't know. These people think you're challenging them. And I suppose I am, but not in a hostile way. You know what I mean? Like, if I have an opinion or a theory or an insight and you don't agree with it, then I'd be like, oh, like, why don't you agree with it? And then, go into an open discussion so that I can understand, so that I can, be like, well, like, I didn't see it that way before, and that's really, really great. Thanks for showing me a new way. Or I can just say, I understand your point of view. However, I agree to disagree. Just like a really civil conversation. But no, like a lot of people, they attack. And I don't think, I mean, we all have choices and we all can choose in any moment. I guess you could choose to participate in exchanges like that, or you could choose to not. And I think like the remedy to all of this is silence, to be honest. I think I think I need to retrain myself to just be more silent and non-reactive, and still be highly aware of what's going on around me, inside of you, but maybe not share my opinion unless you ask. Yeah, it's hard though, because I think like, like how our minds are wired to constantly like enhance things or repair things or, I don't know, make things better. I think our minds are hardwired to do that, to almost like seek out issues or problems or things that seem like they need to be repaired and, proactively find resolutions. I think we're wired that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think from previous conversations that I've had, when we meddle in other people's businesses, it creates unnecessary friction. And even though we mean well, even though we have good intentions, that doesn't necessarily mean they're always welcome. So I think silence is best, even though you can foresee what's going to happen or the outcome of someone's choices. I know we want to like step in there and go, oh my gosh, maybe you should like reconsider, you know, doing things this way because I can foresee this happening. Instead of like distributing that information, as hard as it sounds, you should just let people learn their lessons, because they're only going to gain more knowledge and wisdom through their experiences, however they are perceived, good or bad. And by you interfering, just because you have the ability to see, doesn't mean you're helping anyone. I think it's actually causing chaos. So, yeah, I'm going to work on just kind of like practicing noble silence and offering assistance only when someone asks, instead of constantly like trying to fix and change and repair and um, so forth. I don't know if anything I said made sense, but think about it. I think our minds create problems because it's always searching for something to fix or repair. So maybe like if you just kind of sat here like how I'm doing right now, and you just kind of gave yourself some time to just be silent, to be still, and just observe the inner workings of your mind and how it's constantly looking and searching and wanting and needing stimulation. It's a problem, especially when, you're allowing this mechanism to control you instead of you just being you, and then watching the mechanism do its thing without entertaining it. don't know if I made sense. I'm sorry. I never know if these recordings make sense. I usually replay them so I can kind of get more insight. Because while I'm talking, I'm just kind of like streaming thoughts without really like censoring them. But yeah, anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you learned something, that's great. If you didn't, that's great too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.